I really liked the first Spyro Grand Prix. Seeing Spyro on track was enough for me to love it to start with, but there was lots of other cool stuff in there, and the look and feel of that Grand Prix was just brilliant for a Spyro fan. But is one Grand Prix enough for Spyro, or should we have another one? Today I'm going to talk about my reasons why I want to see Spyro return in a second Spyro Grand Prix. So yeah, make sure if you're going to enjoy this video, you hit that like button because it really does help us out, and subscribe to the channel for weekly Crash and Spyro content. Let's dive into the video. So as we go through today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some comments on the screen which sort of relate to what I'm talking about, people that share my opinions, so we'll put them up as we go along, and also at the end we'll talk about what most people want or do not want when it comes to a Spyro Grand Prix and whether there should be another one. So the biggest reason, or one of the biggest reasons I want another Spyro Grand Prix is because, courtesy of the latest data mine, we know there's another 5 or 6 Grand Prix still to come next year, and there's gonna have to be content to fill them with. So we know now there's definitely room for another Spyro Grand Prix, and a lot of people want it, so it makes sense to fill one of these gaps with another one and allow us to explore some more of the content. Like, I do not want next year's Grand Prix just being full of filler that people aren't bothered about, characters that we could take or leave. A second Grand Prix for Spyro fans would mean a lot to us, so that is one of the biggest reasons I want one. However, for people that think the first reason is quite shallow, let's go into a little bit more detail on why there definitely should be another Spyro Grand Prix if we're getting 5 or 6 new Grand Prix next year. Like, the biggest reason is that there is so much content that could make up another Spyro Grand Prix. So if we look back to the first Grand Prix, so the one we got a few months ago, everything, well, apart from Hunter, every time I say this people go, oh, but Hunter's not Spyro 1, but everything, apart from sort of Hunter, was based on the first game. All the levels were from the first game. The characters, apart from Hunter, were from the first game. I think even the way the gems worked and how many, how they added up was from the first game. So basically, all that happened with the first Grand Prix, apart from Hunter, I will say it again, was they used content from the first game. But if you think there's a Spyro Reignited trilogy for a reason, there's a ton of content from the second and third game that would be brilliant for another Grand Prix. Like, let's just think of characters. Riptor, how was he not in the first Spyro Grand Prix?
Well, someone forgot to invite me to the party.
The Sorceress, Alora, Bianca, I could go on and on and on. There are plenty of characters left that would make good additions to the roster. Not only that though, but they could use some of the levels from the second and third game to make a track that's much more high speed than we got in the first Grand Prix, and that's probably much more entertaining. So the bottom line with this is because they have space, there is plenty of content to go out with Spyro that would make a second Spyro Grand Prix a very good idea in my opinion. The final big point I want to bring up in today's video is that you Crash fans, well, I'm a Crash fan, so I'm actually looking forward to next year, but for people that are predominantly focused on Crash, yes, the world is a beautiful place right now. We got CTR this year, and we are getting probably a new Crash game next year, which, yeah, I'm excited about. But as someone who first came to Spyro and who absolutely adores Spyro, what do we have? 2020 is not going to be a Spyro year. We're going to have to wait till 2021 for Spyro. Now, obviously, on a personal level, that's one of the reasons I'd love another Spyro Grand Prix next year, because it's new Spyro content in a year where there's not going to be much Spyro about. However, I think it makes a lot more sense in other ways as well. Like, for example, Activision not releasing really anything Spyro next year is going to sort of leave a big gap. Yes, we had the Reignited trilogy coming to Switch and PC in 2019 this year, but since 2018, that's when the Reignited trilogy came, so it's going to be a few years actually till the next game comes out. Putting a Spyro Grand Prix in here will just keep us Spyro fans going. It'll keep us enthusiastic, keep us looking forward to 2021 when we can finally, hopefully, get our hands on the next Spyro game. I do feel I need to clarify I am looking forward to the next Crash game though, before you all think I'm hating on Crash, because I love both, but for me Spyro will always have that little bit of an edge because that's where I came from first. So they're just my big thoughts, but a lot of people seem to share a lot of the same thinking as me. but how many people, what percentage actually want a new Spyro Grand Prix, a second Spyro Grand Prix? Well, I did a community post on the channel last night which got like 180 votes, and 77% of people said that they would definitely like another Spyro Grand Prix. There was that 23% that just put no, though, which, you know, I can see why. I think the argument with why people wouldn't want another Spyro Grand Prix would probably come in the form of it's a Crash game, not a Spyro game, so we don't really want the game being flooded with Spyro content, which I understand, but as a Spyro fan, I'm never gonna say no to more Spyro stuff. Hopefully I got to feature your comment in this video, but if I didn't, I will try and mention more in the next video. If you have enjoyed today and want to see more, please do remember to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, let me know what you think to a second Spyro Grand Prix down in the comments. Do you want one? Do you not want one? What would you like to see in it? Let me know all that good stuff. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in another video soon.